180 invoices a month, 0 bookkeeper, 0 QuickBooks, 0 dashboard. The whole finance side of my solo business runs inside Claude Code for about $14 a month in API. If you're a solo founder drowning in Stripe emails, failed payments, and the gut feeling that someone's about to churn but you can't prove it, this is the loop you're missing. Every Claude Code tutorial teaches you to build apps. Almost nobody shows you how to run the money side inside it. By the end, you'll have the exact 5-command loop I run daily. I'm Lazar. I ship this stack for clients through BizflowAI.io. Let's start with the 3 questions nobody automates. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you start a mates person. The hard part isn't building the product. The hard part is that every morning you wake up and you don't actually know 3 things. You don't know how much cash came in overnight. You don't know how much is stuck in failed payments. And you don't know who's about to cancel on you in the next 2 weeks. Most solo founders solve this by opening 5 browser tabs: Stripe, Gmail, a spreadsheet, their product's admin panel, and some churn tool they're paying $40 a month for. That's the tax. 2 hours a day. Gone. I killed all of that and pushed the entire finance loop into Claude Code. 1 workspace, same terminal I code in. Let me show you exactly how it's wired. Open your project folder and make 1 directory called Finance. Inside Finance, create 4 things. A CLAUDE.md file. That's the brain. It tells Claude Code who you are, what your business is, what tone to write in, and which subagents exist. A folder called Invoices, where every generated PDF lands with a predictable file name. A folder called Stripe Events, where raw webhook payloads get dumped as JSON, 1 file per event. And a folder called churn-signals, where usage logs, login timestamps, and support ticket summaries get written every night by a cron job. That's the whole file layout. 4 locations. No database, Notion, no Airtable. Claude Code reads and writes flat files, which means everything is inspectable. Everything is greppable. And if the system breaks, you can debug it with your eyes. The CLAUDE.md file is where most people mess up. They write 2 lines that say you are a helpful assistant. That's useless. Mine is about 80 lines. It says, this business is a Serbian SMB invoicing product. The owner is 1 person. The average customer pays €19 a month. The churn window is 90 days from sign-up. Dunning emails must be written in a calm, direct tone with no exclamation marks. Invoices must include VAT ID and Serbian tax formatting. And here are the 3 subagents you can invoke. Then I list them. Invoice generator, Dunning bot, churn-watch. Each one gets a paragraph explaining when to run, what inputs to read, and what outputs to write. That file is the contract. Once it's solid, everything else is just wiring. Subagent 1 is the invoice generator. The flow is simple. Stripe fires a webhook when a payment succeeds. A tiny listener writes that event as JSON into Stripe events. Then I run 1 command in Claude Code. Generate invoices for today. Claude reads every new event file, pulls the customer details, generates a PDF using a template stored in the finance folder, saves it into invoices with a file name like 2026-0114 customer.pdf, and drafts an email with the PDF attached. It doesn't send yet. It queues the draft in a folder called Outbox. I glance at 3 or 4, hit approve, and they go out through my regular email account. About 180 invoices a month move through this. I spend maybe 6 minutes a day on it. The template lives in 1 file. If tax rules change, I edit that file. Claude Code picks it up on the next run. Subagent 2 is the Dunning bot. This is where solo founders bleed the most money and don't realize it. A payment fails. Stripe retries automatically for a few days, then gives up. The customer never noticed. You never noticed. 2 weeks later, they're gone. The Dunning Subagent watches Stripe events for failed payment events, waits 24 hours, then drafts a recovery email in my tone, not the generic Stripe template that screams, "Update your card" in all caps. It writes something like, "Hey, quick heads up. The card on file didn't go through this month. Here's the link to update it. No rush." If the second retry fails, it drafts a second, shorter email 3 days later. If both fail, it flags the account in a file called @risk.md that I read every Monday morning. Since I turned this on, my involuntary churn dropped by roughly a third. That's real revenue I was leaving on the table because I was too busy shipping features. Subagent 3 is the churn-watch, and this one is the reason I sleep well. Every night, a cron job dumps 3 things into churn-signals, last login per customer. Feature usage counts for the last 30 days, and any support tickets they opened. Every morning at 7, I run one command, check churn signals. Claude Code reads the folder, compares it against patterns it's learned from my past cancellations. Declining logins, no invoice generated in the last 2 weeks, a support ticket with negative sentiment, and it writes a file called watchlist.md with maybe 3 to 8 names on it. On average, it flags accounts 9 days before they actually cancel. That's a 9-day window to send a personal email, offer a call, or just ask what's wrong. Half the time I save the account with a 2-line message. This is the single highest leverage thing in the whole loop. The last piece is the monthly export. One prompt, prepare tax-ready export for last month. Claude Code walks the invoices folder, reads every PDF, reconciles it against Stripe events, generates a CSV with invoice number, date, customer, amount, VAT, and payment status, and drops it into a folder called Tax Exports. My accountant gets one file, no back and forth, no missing invoices. The whole thing takes about 90 seconds to run. I used to spend a full Saturday on this every month, so the whole loop is 5 commands. Generate invoices. Check Dunning. Check churn signals. Draft weekly recovery emails. Export for tax. Total time per day under 15 minutes. Total infra cost, roughly $14 a month in API plus a $60 home server that also runs the product itself. No bookkeeper. No QuickBooks subscription. No churn tool. No dashboard I have to log into. Everything is flat files in one folder that Claude Code reads and writes. And because it's all files, when I want to add a new subagent, like a referral tracker or a cohort report, I just add a section to CLAUDE.md and a folder. The system grows without breaking. The reason this works and a generic Claude wrapper doesn't is the file structure. Most people try to make Claude the database. That fails within a week, because context windows fill up and hallucinations creep in. Treat Claude Code as the operator, not the storage. Files are the truth. Claude reads them, reasons about them, writes new ones. That's the whole trick. If you want the exact finance loop template, the CLAUDE.md file, the 3 Subagent prompts, and the folder structure I just walked through, grab it from BizflowAI.io. It's the same setup running live in my solo business today, and we ship this stack for clients who don't want to wire it up themselves. While you're there, hit subscribe and ring the bell so the next breakdown lands in front of you. And if you've got a workflow you want automated end-to-end, book a free 30-minute discovery call at BizflowAI.io. We'll map it out on the call.